Quarantine and isolation is what Q&I stands for. We facilitate almost like a hospital-like care environment here. My name is Morgan James Cisna, and I'm the Q&I Squadron Commander.
I'm C2C Michaela Gallagher, and I'm the Quarantine and Isolation Squadron Superintendent.
I'm Alan Shadon. I'm the Director of Operations for the Quarantine and Isolation Squadron.
COVID-19 came around in March. Obviously, we still needed to bring in the class of 2024. So that's really sort of where the Quarantine and Isolation Squadron started, was basic training.
We maintain a safe and healthy environment for all cadets that are coming into Q&I. When you're sick with COVID or if you have symptoms, we facilitate rooming assignments, we facilitate meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Every single morning when the clinic opens, they're in communication with us by basically saying if they need a room for a quarantine cadet or a COVID positive cadet, communicate with us, and on the roster we have a whole room layout of the 5th and 6th floor of Saigon Tower. So they tell the cadet that's at the clinic to go to that assigned room, and they check in with the CQ and ensure that everything is working smoothly, and they go in their room and they stay there for whatever amount of days.
A lot of the daily procedures that we take care of generally involve keeping people safe. We try to keep the cadet wing safe, faculty members, and just fellow classmates.
It was a lot of trial by fire. Nothing existed at first, so we were kind of putting it together as cadets and permanent party members, which was a pretty cool leadership experience.
I'm actually really excited that I was able to partake in something like this, mainly because it's something new and there is no handbook on how to handle a global pandemic. And so just being able to be a part of the group that spearheads the efforts to try to make this work, in addition to having our military and academic responsibilities, was just a really nice opportunity for me.
I've been living at the Great Wolf Lodge since early November. Before that, we were at the Drury Inn just across the street. I'm C1C, Brendan Hennies Rose. I was 37's Director of Operations last semester.
I'm C1C Clarissa Jolly from CS38, and I've been living here at the Great Wolf Lodge since July of 2020.
So it's definitely a little bit of a bummer going through this first year, but from my perspective, last semester was such a learning experience on multiple levels of organizing all of the moves that we did in 37.
First, there were just 4 squadrons, so 34, 37, 38, and 35. All of us were housed in upper 2 floors of Saigon Tower. That's why we were displaced. So it was the upper 2 of all 4 of those squadrons, and then we kind of dispersed our 3 degrees and 4 degrees that were in our squadrons to other squadrons around the wing so that they could stay living on the hill.
I think the biggest difference about being here versus the academy is the commute is definitely about 15-20 minute drive up to the Saigon First E lot, and that can be a little tough with seeing friends or obviously going to classes.
You just get a little bit more freedom, a different taste of kind of adult life that we don't normally get as cadets. So we can kind of go to anything that's here on InterQuest and get something to eat, or just have a little break from life on the hill, so that's been actually pretty nice.
Took this with a positive attitude, positive mindset, that we're able to let the academy have a quarantine and isolation area, and our small sacrifice, if maybe it is even a sacrifice being at a hotel, is helping that mission.
I think that it actually came about because our coach suggested it. It was talked about in some of the athletic department meetings that furl was a possibility for cadets to live down there. I'm Cody Surratt. I'm the team captain, or one of the team captains of the wrestling team here.
I'm C1C Casey Jumps, co-captain of the wrestling team.
My kind of role in this environment is pretty much kind of the squadron commander of furl.
Got the whole team that's competing right now. We have a small portion of our team that's not living down here with us. But as far as things go for competition, it's a perfect situation for us. Great COVID mitigation scenario. We're living with the guys that we wrestle with. We wrestle in small groups, call them pods.
We have 2 to 3 guys to a room, so it's really not bad. You get your own space.
I think the 30 guys that are living down here, you're not gonna get any closer than living with somebody all day, every day.
It's not great driving up and down. That can be kind of a pain sometimes. And occasionally the Wi-Fi is a little spotty, especially when we had the snow day down here and everybody in the whole wing was on the internet For the most part, I mean, it's great for us. We get to hang out with all the guys on the team. We get catered meals for breakfast and dinner, and we get to stay as COVID safe as we can.
Really, since we got sent home last year in March, everything, you know, hear it constantly. You got to adapt, situations fluid, things like that. So just a big, I think, leadership skill for all of us to be able to change with our environment.
It's nice not having to worry about it. We stay in our pods, we live in our pods that we wrestle in. So like the 3 guys that I live with are the 3 guys that I wrestle with every day. So if one of us were to go down, it wouldn't take down our whole team.
None of us really expected to have a global pandemic happen in our academy career, and you know, it's everywhere at the academy. Everything's having to be done differently, and I think, you know, we're doing the absolute best we can to keep accomplishing the mission.